Well, after the storm touched down on the 280 bypass, it made one more stop in Phenix City. Houses and businesses along Broad and Dillingham were heavily damaged. News Leader 9's Laurie Bernstein joins us live from there with the latest.
Well, Wayne, I'm standing on what used to be Fred Peak's home contracting office. The back of the building, 2/3 of it is literally gone. I mean, look at this destruction. The tornado just blew by here, and you can really see the path. Let's take a walk. You can see all of the wood, all of the bricks all over the place. And right over here, if you take a look to my left, this is what's left of a turf lawn management service called Turf Management Systems. Completely gone. The roof caved in over the company vehicles last night as that EF tornado came through. But these businesses weren't the only ones damaged in the area. Now, if you go across Broad Street, the auto supply repair shop lost most of its roof. The winds carrying it into the trees nearby. And another 109-year-old home right next door was completely flattened by the high winds. Gwen Haynes actually grew up there and came back to see this devastation with her own eyes.
It's got a lot of memories here, especially sitting on the front porch. And my mama, she loved this house. And I just rode by yesterday to check on it, But it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Now, many workers spent the morning putting blue tarps over the roofs of damaged apartments or trying to cover the holes with new shingles. Several cars also became victims to tree limbs all up and down Dillingham 10th Street, and nearby Sanford Cemetery got its fair share of debris strewn over those grave sites. Now, business and homeowners are really just going to be trying to make a dent in all this cleanup. I mean, it's covered with debris all over this place. They know it really is going to take days, if not weeks, to clean this up. Now, each of these storm victims has a story about the past, the history of all these buildings. We'll have more on that coming up tonight at 6. But for now, reporting live in Phenix City from the Dillingham area, I'm Laurie Bernstein, WTVM News Leader 9.
We're going to turn it over now to News Leader 9's Laurie Bernstein. Laurie?
Well, right now I am standing on what used to be Fred Peak's home contracting business. Just look behind me. About 2/3 of this building is completely gone, ripped away by the tornado's high winds. Now, many of these buildings, just like this one in Phenix City, are very historic buildings with victims having stories from the past that are now gone forever.
As she walks through the pile of rubble, Gwen Haynes can't help but reflect on the memories of her childhood.
My mother was born here in 1912, and the house was built in 1902.
The 109-year-old home was also the site of Phenix City's first print shop. The ancient press is one of the only things still standing after Sunday night's EF2 tornado ripped through.
It's got a lot of memories here, especially sitting on the front porch. And I just rode by yesterday to check on it, But it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Across the street, Fred Peak surveys the damage of his contracting business. He's been in the building since 1992, but its history spans generations.
Well, I'm devastated by it. We love the building. This is an old building that was actually built in 1890 and has had everything in it, from a buggy factory to a whiskey distillery or whiskey warehouse to a tractor dealership.
The scene repeated itself along the storm's path. Destroyed apartment roofs being covered with blue tarps. Families picking up tree limbs off their shattered cars. Even the dead couldn't escape the devastation, with the historic Sanford Cemetery getting a direct hit. It's now time to start the cleanup process, even though many of these victims don't know what the coming days have in store.
It's just an absolute loss. I'm unemployed now. I can't work.
Now, these businesses have suffered enormous damages. The owner of this building, Fred Peak, says it's going to cost him about $1 million if he decides to rebuild. Just look at how long it's going to take. Look at this, bricks, wood just strewn all over the area. It's really going to be hard for these people to pick up. Most of them do have insurance, but again, it's going to take several months for them to get that money back. But Wayne, Barbara, the most important thing that people keep coming back to is that nobody was hurt miraculously and that everybody turned out okay.
And that is really good to hear. Thank you, Laurie.
Yeah, especially when you see all that damage.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.